Hi everyone, I'm Xiao Kui from Susan's family. Today, I'm going to introduce a Showa retro style toy to you all. This toy comes in 2 yarn options. Each version is divided into 2 styles, the deer style and the lamb style. Both styles consist of a main part and accessories. The main part includes the head, facial features, and legs, body, belly, neck, and tail sections. The accessories include a hat and a bow. For both styles, apart from the legs, ears, and accessories which are slightly different. The making method for the rest of the positions is almost identical. You start by completing the main piece first, then make and attach the accessories. Finally, apply blush to the corresponding positions. First, learn the crocheting method for the main part. Start by learning the crochet technique for the head. Let's take a look at the table. In the chart, the rounds column is indicated with our plus number. The increases and decreases explanation column shows the instructions for increasing or decreasing stitches. This indicates what to do while crocheting that particular round, shows the stitch techniques used, as well as any increasing or decreasing situations. The total stitches column indicates all the stitches for that particular round. This is the total stitch count after completing the crocheting for that round. This toy is crocheted using X stitch single crochet. It will simply be referred to as single crochet moving forward. The stitches used include X the single crochet, V the single crochet increase, the single crochet decrease, chain stitch, and slip stitch. Before starting to crochet, let's take a look at the yarn options first. For the thick yarn version, simply use 1 strand of yarn to crochet. The cloud fluff version requires combining 2 strands held together for crocheting. Take out the cloud fluff skein. From 1 ball of yarn, you can remove a tail from both the inner side and the outer side. Pull out 1 end from each side. Combine these 2 ends together and treat them as 1 strand for crocheting. To make it easier for everyone to see more clearly, I will use a single strand of cotton yarn for demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. From now on, when I mention 1 strand of yarn, it refers to 1 strand for the thick yarn version, or a group of strands for the cloud fluff version. I won't repeat this explanation later. The head is crocheted using the slip stitch method. That means every round starts with a beginning chain and ends with a slip stitch. Let's start by casting on. In the chart, casting on indicates the magic ring method. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your left index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop to between your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert it into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise around the hook. Draw the yarn through. There is now 1 loop on your hook. Crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. 1 chain stitch is now complete. The magic ring is now completed. Next, crochet the first round. It's 6x for our 1. The number before X shows how many single crochet we need to make. This means to work 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Work 1 chain stitch as the beginning chain for the single crochet. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This beginning chain is not marked on the chart. In reality, when crocheting in rounds, you need to make a beginning chain at the beginning of each round. The beginning chain doesn't count as one stitch. Then start working single crochets. Insert into the large space of the magic ring. Here we use the cross-stitch crochet method. Yarn over clockwise. Pull the yarn through. There are 2 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise again. Pull through once. That completes 1 single crochet. On the top right, there is a V shape formed by 2 yarns. This is the stitch of a single crochet. Place a stitch marker on the stitch. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can also use a paper clip or safety pin as a substitute. Continue with the second single crochet. Insert into the magic ring. Wrap the yarn clockwise. Draw the yarn through. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise again. Draw through the 2 loops on hook. The second single crochet is now complete. You need to make 6 single crochets in the first round. Continue and finish the remaining single crochets. Three, 4. 5, 6. The corresponding stitch pattern in the chart is now complete. After that, close the magic ring. There are 2 loops in total. Gently pull the starting tail first. 1 loop will be movable. Tighten the movable loop. One loop remains. Pull the yarn tail directly to tighten. Pull it tight directly. Tighten the yarn tail directly. The loop is now closed. Note: when closing the magic ring in the Cloud Fluff version, make sure not to pull the wrong loop. Then, slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch of this round to finish. That is, crochet at the stitch marker. Insert the hook. Yarn over. And draw through all the loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. This is the chain formed by the slip stitch. It doesn't count as one stitch. You need to tighten it. The slip stitch is not indicated in the form. In practice, when crocheting in rounds, always finish by joining with a slip stitch, and pull tight. This way, the first round is now complete. The side facing us right now is the right side. You can take a look. The texture on the right side of the fabric is clear. The texture on the wrong side is blurry. Place a stitch marker at any position on the right side to mark it. All subsequent work will be done on the right side. Move on to the second round. It shows 6V for R2. The number before V represents the number of single crochet increases, or SC2 in 1 we need to make. Here it means to crochet 6 single crochet increases. Make 1 beginning chain. Let me emphasize this again. At the start of each round, you need to crochet a beginning chain. I won't repeat this for the following rounds. Crochet 1 single crochet increase into the first stitch of the previous round. That's the spot where you insert your hook for the slip stitch. Crochet 2 single crochets here. As you crochet, place the starting tail above the hook. Weave it in as you go along. One stitch. Move the stitch marker to this stitch. Insert your hook into the same stitch, and crochet a single crochet. Two stitches. The single crochet increase is now completed. Continue with another single crochet increase in the next stitch on the left. Don't forget to weave in the ends. The second single crochet increase is now complete. You need to make 6 single crochet increases in this round. For the remaining 4, crochet 2 single crochets into each stitch following the same method. After completing the last single crochet increase, you need to check the stitch count. Start counting the stitches from the stitch marker position. 2, 3, 11, 12. There are a total of 12 stitches in this round. The total number of stitches for each round is clearly indicated in the corresponding table. I won't mention this again moving forward. Next, slip stitch into the first stitch. Pay attention carefully. At the end of each round, you must slip stitch to connect with the first stitch. Insert the hook into the stitch marker position. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all loops on the hook at once. Slip stitch is now complete. Tighten. I won't repeat this again in the following steps. The extra yarn tail from the starting chain can be cut off directly. The second round is now complete. Continue with the third round. It shows X, V, *6 for R3. The parentheses here indicate a group. The number indicates the number of times to repeat the group. Start with 1 single crochet. Move the stitch marker. This will make it easier to locate the slip stitch position later. Mark the first stitch of each round. Crochet a single crochet increase next. The X, V is now completed. Let me demonstrate it one more time. Start with 1 single crochet. Then work 2 single crochets into the same stitch. This is the second time. Repeat XV 6 times in this round. For the remaining 4 times, follow the pattern of 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase. The third round is now finished. Next, let's move on to the fourth round. Start with 1 single crochet. Then crochet a single crochet increase next. Follow up with another single crochet. The XV is now completed. Let me demonstrate it again. Start with 1 single crochet. Then work 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Continue with 1 more single crochet. This is the second time. Continue crocheting following the previous method. The fourth round is now complete. Move on to crochet rounds 5 through 11. The stitch techniques used in these rounds have all been demonstrated in detail earlier. The meaning of the increases and decreases explanation is similar to before. You just need to follow the stitch order in the table and crochet the corresponding stitches. Pay attention not to adjust the position randomly. Continue crocheting downward. Everyone, this is what it looks like after completing the 11th round. Below, I'll teach you the method for counting rounds. On the fabric piece, there are raised textures as your guide. The number of these raised texture circles indicates how many rounds you've completed. Avoid the position of the slip stitch. 2, 3, 10, 11, a total of 11 rounds. From now on, count the rounds using this method. The cloud fluff yarn version makes it hard to see the textures clearly. You can feel the raised textures with your fingers. Count the rounds based on the raised parts. In the table, it shows Evenly 6/6 for R12 to R22. This means starting from round 12, you will crochet 66 single crochets without increasing or decreasing for every round. Continue until the end of round 22. I have already completed round 22 here. After finishing, tidy up the fabric piece. Make sure the right side faces out. Move on to round 23. Start with 9 single crochets. Then work 1 single crochet decrease. Here, use the invisible decrease method for crocheting. One stitch looks like this. It has 2 strands of yarn. The loop closer to you is the front loop. The loop farther from you is the back loop. Insert the hook into the front loop of the adjacent stitch. Then from front to back, insert it into the front loop of the second stitch. It might be a bit tricky to pick up the stitch here. Pay attention and make sure you don't insert in the wrong position. There should now be 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over clockwise. Draw through the first 2 loops on the hook. There are 2 loops remaining on the hook. Yarn over counterclockwise and draw through all loops in once. 1 single crochet decrease is now completed. Use this method to crochet. The gaps between stitches will be smaller. The texture of the fabric will look more delicate and attractive. A group 9XA has been crocheted. The invisible decrease may not be easy to crochet in the cloud fluff version. You can skip 1 stitch at the decrease position, directly passing it over. Crochet a regular single crochet. Decrease following this method. Continue with the second group. Start by crocheting 9 single crochets. The first single crochet goes into the adjacent stitch. Mind not to crochet in the wrong position. After completion, crochet 1 single crochet decrease. I'll demonstrate the invisible decrease technique again. Insert the hook from front to back. Pick up on the left side respectively, the front loops of 2 adjacent stitches. Yarn over clockwise. Draw the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. There are 2 loops remaining. Yarn over counterclockwise and draw through once. The single crochet decrease is now complete. The second group is finished. Following this method, continue to work the entire round. Round 23 is now completed. Continue crocheting from round 24 to round 30. Everyone follow the stitch pattern order on the chart. Crochet the corresponding stitches as indicated. Pay attention not to adjust the positions arbitrarily. I won't repeat this in the following steps. This is what it looks like after completing round 30. You'll need to stuff the piece after finishing this round. Fluff up the stuffing and insert it inside. You can use a crochet hook to assist if needed. Once it's firmly stuffed, take out the joint. The joint is made up of 3 parts like this. Take out the part with the spiral leg. Position the spiral leg facing outward, stuff the fabric inside. If the fabric isn't quite full yet, you can add a little more filling cotton through the gap between the joint and the fabric. After stuffing, crochet the remaining rounds. Once completed, stretch the loop. Leave about 15 centimeters of yarn tail and cut. Pull the yarn tail out. Slightly tighten it. Thread the yarn tail into a sewing needle. Insert sequentially through the front loops of the final round. Tighten the yarn tail. Press the closing area to lay flat. The column with the slip stitch is the wrong side of the head. Pick up the nearby loop and tie off to secure the yarn tail once. Split the yarn tail into 2 strands. Pass one strand through an adjacent position. Tie a knot with the 2 strands. Hide it inside the fabric. The head is now complete. Next, let's learn the crocheting method for facial features. Let's take a look at the finished product. The facial features include the nose, ears, and cheeks. The mouth and eyes are also included. Let's start with the nose. Use the magic ring technique to begin. Crochet in rounds after casting on. The method is similar to that of the head. You can directly refer to the chart for crocheting. Next, let's learn the crochet technique for the ears. For both doll designs, the ears also use the magic ring technique. Crochet in rounds after starting with the magic ring. The method is similar to the one used for the head. Each doll has 2 ears. The making method for both ears is the same. The deer's ears are made up of 2 pieces. The lamb's ear requires only 1 piece. Let's first learn how to crochet the deer's ears. Start by crocheting the inner part of the ear. You can directly follow the chart for crocheting. The color of the yarn also follows the chart. After completing the first round, don't forget to mark the right side of the fabric. When crocheting further, always mark the right side. After completing the first round of the piece, mark the right side of the fabric. I won't remind you about this again moving forward. Here, I have already finished crocheting. Leave a yarn tail of about 5 centimeters and break the yarn. Pull the yarn tail through. Next, crochet the outer ear. Refer to the chart. Complete R1 to R4 first. I've already crocheted this part in advance. Next, I'll demonstrate the following steps. The crocheting method for the final round of the outer ear. Place the 2 pieces with their wrong sides facing each other. Ensure the right side of the outer ear is facing you. Align the positions where slip stitches will be made on both pieces. Start by making 1 beginning chain. Then insert the hook into the adjacent stitch, on the left side of the outer ear. Next, pass through the last stitch of the final round of the inner ear. You can flip the inner ear to the right side if needed to locate it. After threading through, crochet one single crochet. While crocheting, you can weave in the yarn tail from where the inner ear was broken. Then pass through both fabric pieces. Going through the 2 adjacent stitches on the left side, crochet one single crochet in each of these stitches. Don't forget to weave in the ends. Once completed, continue inserting the hook through both pieces. In the adjacent stitch on the left, make a single crochet increase. When crocheting backward, there's no need to weave in the yarn tail anymore. Just hide the remaining strands between the 2 fabric pieces. One group, 3XV, is now complete. Continue following this method to finish crocheting the entire round. Once completed, join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Pull tight. Leave a tail about 30 centimeters long, and cut the yarn. One deer ear is now complete. Following the same method, make another one. The crochet technique for the deer ears has now been fully explained. Next, let's learn how to crochet lamb ears. The new stitches used include T half double crochet, F double crochet, TV half double crochet, or HDC 2 in 1, FV double crochet or DC 2 in 1. Start with an adjustable magic ring. Then move on to the first round. Follow the stitch pattern in the chart to crochet. Start with 2 single crochets. After completing them, move on to 2 HDC. That means you will make 2 half double crochets. Begin with the first one. Yarn over counterclockwise. Insert the hook into the magic ring hole. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise again. Draw through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pull through all loops at once. That completes one half double crochet. The stitch above to the right is its corresponding stitch. Continue with the second half double crochet. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the magic ring hole. Wrap and pull through. Wrap the yarn again. Pull through all the loops on your hook. That completes the second half double crochet. Next, the chart shows 5F. This means we will work 5 double crochets. Yarn over counterclockwise. Insert the hook into the large hole of the magic ring. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise again. Draw through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over counterclockwise. Draw through the first 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over counterclockwise again. Pull through all loops at once. That completes one double crochet. The stitch above is the result. Continue with the second double crochet. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the large hole of the magic ring. Yarn over and draw through. Yarn over again. Pull through the first 2 loops on your hook sequentially. Repeat this process twice. 1, 2. The second double crochet is now completed. Continue with 3 more double crochets. After finishing, continue to complete the remaining stitches according to the table. Once all the stitches in the first round are completed, close the magic ring properly. Join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. Tighten the yarn. The first round is now complete. After finishing, don't forget to place a marker on the right side. When you crochet further rounds, always mark the right side of the fabric after completing the first round. Indicate the front side of the piece. I won't repeat this instruction moving forward. Move on to round 2. Start with 1 single crochet, work 1 single crochet increase, and 1 single crochet. Next, crochet 2 HDC 2 in 1. That means work 2 half double crochet increases. First, work 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. One, 2, A half double crochet increase is now complete. Work another half double crochet increase. That means make 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. After finishing, continue crocheting 3 DC2 in 1. That means in the next 3 stitches, work 2 double crochets into each stitch. The 3 DC2 in 1 will be completed. Continue to finish the remaining stitches according to the chart. The second round is now complete. Move on to the third round. First, crochet 7 single crochets, and 1 half double crochet increase. Next, the chart shows T, F. This square bracket indicates that these 2 stitches are worked into the same stitch. That means in the next stitch, work 1 half double crochet and 1 double crochet. The T, F is now completed. Continue crocheting 4 double crochet increases. After completing them, work 1 F T. That means in the next stitch, work 1 double crochet and 1 half double crochet. After finishing, continue crocheting the remaining stitches in the chart. The third round is now completed. Leave a tail about 30 centimeters long and fasten off the yarn. One lamb ear is now finished. Following the same method, make another one. The crocheting method for the lamb ears is now complete. Next, let's learn how to crochet the cheeks. Here, I've already crocheted one. Use the chain stitch method to begin. After casting on, crochet in rounds along the chain stitches. Each doll has 2 cheeks. The making method is identical. In the chart, CH stands for chain stitch. W stands for SC3 in 1. Below, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with 5 chains. This indicates the starting method is a chain stitch cast on. Cast on 5 stitches. Begin with a slip knot and foundation chain. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap it around your left little finger once. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Pinch the yarn tail with your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Position the hook underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise around the hook. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Then place the hook on the left side of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise around the hook. Draw the yarn through the loop. Pull tight the yarn tail. Pay attention. The loop on the hook should be slightly loose. This makes it more convenient for crocheting later. The slip knot at the beginning doesn't count as one stitch. Start crocheting chain stitches. Crochet a total of 5 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 chain stitch counts as 1 stitch. The loop on the hook does not count toward the stitch count. The right side of a chain stitch looks like a V-shaped braid. On the wrong side, there is a horizontal bar. Use the hook to pick up the second front loop from the left. One, 2. That means this single strand. Crochet 1 single crochet stitch. On this single crochet stitch, place a stitch marker to mark it. Then pick up 1 strand from the adjacent chain stitch on the left. Work single crochets evenly into each stitch until there is 1 chain stitch remaining. After completing, continue in the last chain stitch on the far left. Crochet 1 SC3 in 1 stitch. That means you will work 3 single crochets into this chain stitch. As you work, rotate the piece clockwise. One SC3 in 1 stitch is now completed. Next, pick up the other 2 strands from the adjacent chain stitch on the left. Work single crochets correspondingly into each stitch. You'll notice that the insertion point matches with the single crochets you previously worked on the other side of the chain. Continue crocheting until there is 1 chain stitch remaining. While working, tidy up the starting yarn tail. After finishing, on the last chain stitch, work 1 single crochet increase. Then, join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Pull tight. The first round is now completed. Move on to round 2. Follow the chart to crochet directly. After completing, join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. Tighten it. The second round is now done. Leave a tail about 30 centimeters long, and cut the yarn. One cheek is now completed. Following the same method, crochet another one. That concludes the technique for crocheting the cheeks. Next, let's learn how to crochet the mouth. Use the foundation chain method to start. After casting on, crochet along the chain. All the stitches used have been demonstrated before. You can directly refer to the chart to finish crocheting it. That concludes the technique for crocheting the mouth. Lastly, let's learn how to crochet the eyes. Use the foundation chain method to start. After casting on, crochet along the chain. Each doll has 2 eyes. The making method is identical. Next, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting technique. Let's start by casting on, then crochet the first row. After completing it, make a chain stitch to begin the next row. Next, according to the chart, turn the piece counterclockwise. Then pick up the stitches and crochet 3 single crochets correspondingly. Pay attention. When crocheting on the wrong side, the stitch will be located above and to the left of the corresponding stitch pattern. Next, make a single crochet increase. The insertion point is the first stitch of the single crochet increase from the first row. Then, rotate the piece clockwise. Insert the hook into the insertion point of the single crochet increase from the first row. Pick up the other 2 strands and crochet 1 single crochet. Next, continue to pick up the remaining 2 strands from the left chain. Crochet 2 single crochets correspondingly. The second row is now completed. Next, crochet the third row, make 1 beginning chain. Then, turn the piece counterclockwise. Crochet 2 single crochets correspondingly. Then, crochet 4 single crochet increases. Crochet 2 more single crochets. The third row is now completed. Fasten off the yarn normally. One eye is now completed. Follow the same method to crochet 1 more. That concludes the technique for crocheting the eyes. This completes all the facial features. Next, let's learn how to crochet the 4 legs. Take a look at the finished product. It is crocheted in rounds using the magic ring method. There are front and back legs, 2 each. The method for each pair is identical. For the deer's legs, color changes are required during crocheting. The lamb's legs do not need this. Let's first learn how to crochet the front legs of the deer style. For the lamb style, you can simply follow the chart to crochet. Next, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet technique. For the deer style, you need to change colors on the 11th round. Below, I will demonstrate the color changing method. If you're crocheting the lamb style, you can skip this part and don't need to watch. Pay attention while crocheting. Crocheting evenly will naturally cause the fabric to curl. Don't forget to keep the right side facing outward while crocheting. I won't repeat this in the future. First, follow the chart and crochet up to round 10. After completing it, fasten off the yarn normally. I have already completed this part here. Now move on to round 11. Let's join the yarn first. Take the corresponding yarn. Leave a tail of about 5 centimeters. Tie a loose knot. Wrap the yarn around your left hand. Insert the hook into the first stitch of round 10. Draw the loop with the knot through. Adjust the size of the loop. Make sure not to pull the knot to the right side. Now the joining is complete. For any future joins, you can refer to this demonstration. Next, use the new yarn to finish the remaining part of the front leg. While crocheting, make sure to secure both yarn tails. This is what the front leg looks like after it's completed. After finishing, leave a tail of about 10 centimeters and cut the yarn. Then stuff the filling into the fabric from the inside. You can refer to the demonstration for the head for the stuffing method. One front leg is now complete. Crochet another one using the same method. That concludes the crochet method for the front legs. Now, move on to crocheting the back legs. The crochet method for the back legs is similar to that of the front legs. For the lamb style, no color changes are required. For the deer style, color changes are required during crocheting. Refer to the color change demonstration for the front legs for the method. Everyone can refer to the chart to finish crocheting both back legs. Up to this point, all the methods for crocheting the legs have been covered. Next, let's learn the crochet method for the body. After crocheting all 4 legs, connect them together first. Then crochet the body in rounds. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. Let's start with the first round. Pay attention, the body section is crocheted in spirals, which means there's no need for a beginning chain for each round. You also don't need to join with a slip stitch. Connect the 4 legs together. Take the back leg. Treat it as the left back leg. Locate the 26th stitch of the last round. Join the yarn here. Then refer to the chart. Start from the stitch where you joined the yarn. Crochet the corresponding number of single crochets. This spot as the joining position is a bit special, so you need to make one beginning chain first. Then start crocheting. For the rest of the rounds, no beginning chains are needed. Since it's crocheted in spirals, the rounds can be hard to tell apart. While crocheting, make sure to mark the first stitch in time. When you crochet, gather the joining yarn tail and the fastening off yarn tail together. And weave them in properly. Pay attention. Don't add extra stitches at the slip stitch position. After completing, crochet the corresponding number of chain stitches. Then take one front leg. Locate the second stitch of the last round. Start from this stitch. Crochet the corresponding number of single crochets. Don't forget to weave in the yarn tails. When done, crochet the corresponding number of chain stitches. Next, continue referring to the table and follow the same method to connect the right front leg and the right back leg. The first round is now complete, and all 4 legs are connected. Now let's work on the second round. Find the first stitch of the first round. Pay attention that the chain stitches should not be twisted. Start from this stitch and crochet single crochets correspondingly until you finish the stitch on the right side of the chain. When you reach the corresponding position, pick up the top loop of the chains and make a single crochet. At the chain stitch connection, always pick up the top loop of the chain to work a single crochet. Match one stitch to another. Finish crocheting all the chain stitches. After completing it, continue on the left front leg and work single crochets correspondingly until you finish the stitch on the right side of the chain. When you reach the corresponding position, continue picking up the top loop of the chains and work single crochets correspondingly. Finish crocheting all the chain stitches. After completing it, continue in the same way and work the single crochets for the right front leg and the right back leg, as well as the connecting chain stitches. This completes round 2. Continue with round 3. Refer to the chart and crochet accordingly. Don't forget to mark the first stitch. When crocheting in spirals, the beginning and ending positions of the same round may appear misaligned. This is normal. Everyone, refer to the table and finish this round. Pay attention. When crocheting moving forward, do not adjust the increasing or decreasing positions randomly. I won't repeat the explanation anymore. Round 3 is completed. Continue crocheting according to the table until you finish the second to last round. Here, I have already finished it. Continue working on the final round until you complete the last single crochet decrease. After finishing, on the last stitch of the previous round, make one slip stitch. This slip stitch counts as one stitch. No need to pull tight. Leave a tail about 30 centimeters long and break the yarn. Remove the stitch marker. This is what the body looks like after completion. Next, crochet the belly in rounds below the body. After completing, sew the opening together. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. The belly is also crocheted using the spiral method. Don't forget to place a marker on the first stitch of each round. Here, for your convenience in seeing more clearly, I will demonstrate with a different color yarn. When you crochet, refer to the chart for the yarn colors. Let's start with the first round. Find the right back leg, the chain stitch on the right side, which is between the two back legs, the chain stitch on the far left. For the cloud fluff version, it's roughly on the right side of this corner position. Pick up the other two strands of the chain stitch. Insert the hook. Join the yarn here. Then, insert the hook into one leg of the chain stitch at the joining spot, and the front loop of the adjacent stitch on the left back leg, which is the next stitch over. Work one single crochet decrease. After that, start from the adjacent stitch and work 7 single crochets. While crocheting, weave in the yarn tail for joining. Then, move on to a single crochet decrease. Insert the hook into the front loop of the adjacent stitch, and again into one strand of the chain stitch on the left side. That completes the decrease. Now we've reached the connecting chain position. Pick up the other 2 strands of the chain and continue crocheting. You can see this single crochet. It's worked into the same chain as the single crochet below. Continue to pick up the remaining 2 strands of the chain stitches below and work them evenly. Crochet 7 single crochets. After completing, work 1 single crochet decrease. When decreasing on the right side of the leg, insert into 1 strand of the chain stitch on the right side. And 1 strand of the adjacent stitch to complete the crochet. Pay attention. Do not add extra stitches at the slip stitch position. Then, continue with the corresponding number of single crochets. When decreasing on the left side of the leg, always insert into the front loop of the adjacent stitch and crochet with 1 strand of the left side chain stitch. At the connecting chain stitch position, insert and crochet using both strands of the chain stitch. Work it together with the single crochet below in the same chain stitch. Follow this method and continue crocheting all the way down to finish the rest. When you encounter a previously reserved yarn tail, weave in the yarn tail at the same time. The first round is now completed. Then move on to the remaining part. Everyone can refer to the chart to complete it. For the last stitch of the final round, use the same crocheting method as the last stitch of the body. After completing, leave a yarn tail of about 30 centimeters. Here, I've already finished crocheting the stomach. Next, sew together the opening of the stomach. Before sewing, align the left and right legs for reference. The reserved yarn tail is roughly in the middle position between the two legs. Thread the yarn tail through a sewing needle. Insert the needle into the corresponding stitches on the front and back edges. Insert from front to back. Pull tight. Sew an extra stitch at the starting position to secure it. Then insert the needle into the adjacent corresponding front and back stitches. Pull tight. Always sew from front to back. Insert the needle into the adjacent corresponding stitches on the front and back. Continue sewing downward to complete the section. At the last stitch position, sew an extra stitch to secure it. After sewing, take the yarn tail to the wrong side of the body. Pick up a loop and tie a knot to fasten it. Then hide it along the texture. The stomach is now complete. Next, we will crochet the neck. The neck is divided into two parts, the main part and the upper piece. Before crocheting, sew the back half of the body together first. Then crochet in rounds along the opening position. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. First, sew the side seams of the body together. Locate the front part of the body. Find the middle two stitches. These two stitches are roughly in the middle of the front legs. If there's a significant difference, adjust the position again. Once you find the middle two stitches, mark them. From these two stitches, move to the left and right. Count 11 stitches on each side and mark them. Do not include these two marked stitches. There are 24 stitches in total on this side. Sew together the remaining stitches. The reserved side will be crocheted for the neck. Before sewing, you can stuff the body a little first. Then sew together the remaining stitches one by one. Match them up as you sew. You can sew and stuff at the same time. Weave in the yarn tails at the end. Continue to stuff the body a little more. Make it firmly stuffed and evenly shaped. Now the body is sewn together. Next, crochet the main part of the neck. Work in spirals as before. Don't forget to place a marker. Start with the first round. Find the last 2 stitches of the seam. Join the yarn on the left stitch. Start with the first round. Crochet 26 single crochets downward. The first single crochet. Work it into the stitch where you joined the yarn. You need to make a beginning chain. Continue crocheting downward. The last single crochet, work it into the right side stitch of the last 2 seam stitches. It should be the stitch on the right side. The first round is now completed. Continue to refer to the chart, finish crocheting the remaining part. That concludes the crocheting method for the main part of the neck. Next, move on to crocheting the fabric piece above the neck. Just follow the chart to crochet. Pay attention. When finishing the tails of your stitches, don't pull them too tight. Leave a small hole in the middle. I've already crocheted this part in advance. Next, we'll assemble the fabric piece with the head. Take out the head and the 2 remaining parts of the joint. First, position the right side of the fabric piece toward the closing point on the head. Place the small hole in the middle over the spiral shaft of the head joint. Then take the joint part with a larger hole in the middle, which is a smooth circular piece on both sides, and slide it onto the spiral shaft. After that, attach the other piece with the side that has the middle protrusion facing toward you. Slide it onto the spiral shaft. Push it firmly into place with some force. The joint is now assembled. After assembling the joint, stuff the main part of the neck with filling cotton. Make sure to stuff it firmly so it's plump. Once it's fully stuffed, use the yarn tail reserved from the upper fabric piece, and sew the neck to the fabric piece 1 stitch at a time. While sewing, hide the yarn tail from the neck inside the fabric. Pull it tight as you sew along. Repeat this process, and sew the entire round. At the beginning and ending point, you can add an extra stitch for reinforcement. After sewing, pick up the seam thread and tie a knot to secure it. Then tuck the yarn tail into the body. This is what the completed neck looks like. The head is also secured to the top of the neck. Now let's crochet the tail. For the tail, use the magic ring method to start. After starting, crochet in rounds. Just follow the chart for reference as you crochet. Here, I've already crocheted in advance. Once completed, stuff it with filling cotton. This is what the finished tail looks like.